Biopsychology, Genes and Behavior. Verónica Balestra. What is biopsychology? Definition of biopsychology. Biopsychology, also known as behavioral neuroscience or psychobiology, is a field of study that explores the intricate relationship between biology, specifically the brain and nervous system, and behavior. One key aspect of this field is the role of genes in shaping behavior. Genes and DNA. Why should you take a break? Genes are segments of DNA that contain instructions for building and maintaining the body's cells and tissues. They provide blueprint for various biological processes, including the development and functioning of the brain. While genes do not directly dictate behavior, they can influence it by influencing the structure and function of the brain. Behavioral genetic research aims to understand how genes contribute to individual differences in behavior. Through twin studies, adoption studies, and genetic mapping techniques, scientists have been able to identify specific genes associated with certain behaviors or behavioral traits. For example, certain genes have been linked to intelligence, aggression, personality traits, and mental disorders. Important to note, genes do not act in isolation. Genes also interact with environment in complex ways, and the expressions of genes can be influenced by various factors such as upbringing, social environment, and life experiences. This interaction between genes and the environment is known as gene-environment interaction. Epigenetics. Gene expression can be influenced by epigenetic mechanisms. Refers to the modification of the DNA or its associated proteins that can affect gene activity without changing the underlying genetic code. Epigenetic changes can be influenced by factors such as stress, diet, and exposure to toxins, and have been proven to provoke lasting effects on behavior and brain function. The importance of understanding biopsychology and epigenetics. Understanding the complex interplay between biology and behavior is crucial for revealing the mysteries of human nature and developing treatments for various psychological and neurological disorders. Charles Darwin and the evolution by natural selection theory. First, variation. Individuals within population exhibit natural variation in their traits. For example, some birds may have longer beaks while others have shorter beaks. 2. Inheritance. Traits are passed down from parents to offspring. Offspring tend to inherit the traits of their parents, including the variations. Overproduction. Organisms have the potential to produce more offspring than the environment can support. This leads to competition for resources and survival. 4. Differential survival and reproduction. The struggle for existence, individuals and certain variations that are advantageous for survival and reproduction have a higher likelihood of surviving and passing on their traits to the next generation. This is known as natural selection. 5. Adaptation. Over time, natural selection leads to the accumulation of advantageous traits within population. These traits increase the organism's fitness or ability to survive and reproduce in a specific environment. 6. Descent with modification. Species change over time and diversity from common ancestor. As new traits arise through natural selection and genetic variation, populations diverge, leading to the formation of new species over longer periods of time. 7. Common ancestry. All living organisms share a common ancestor. According to Darwin's theory, all species, including humans, are connected through a past tree of life, with a history that spans billions of years. Survival of the fittest. These basic tenets of evolutionary theory have since been supported by extensive scientific evidence from various disciplines, including paleontology, genetics, and comparative anatomy. They provide a framework for understanding how species have evolved and adapted to their environments over millions of years. Evolutionary psychology seeks to understand human behavior and cognition through the lens of evolution. It combines principles from evolutionary biology, psychology, and cognitive science to explore how our mental processes and behaviors have been shaped by natural selection. The central premise. Our psychological traits and behaviors have evolved over time because they confer some adaptive advantages to our ancestors. Our minds are the product of evolutionary processes that have favored certain cognitive mechanisms and behavioral tendencies. Evolutionary psychologists propose that many aspects of human behavior can be understood as adaptations to the challenges and opportunities forced by ancestors in their ancestral environments. For example, tendencies for social cooperation, mate selection, parental care, and aggression may have evolved because they increase the chances of survival and reproductive success. Key concepts or principles to remember. 1. Adaptation. Psychological traits are thought to be adaptations that have evolved to solve specific problems faced by our ancestors. These adaptations are believed to have contributed to the survival and reproduction of individuals who possess them. 2. Environment of evolutionary adaptiveness, EEA. The EEA refers to the specific ancestral environment in which our evolutionary adaptations develop. Understanding the environmental conditions and selective pressures in this environment helps explain why certain psychological mechanisms evolved. 3. Sexual selection. Evolutionary psychology recognizes the importance of sexual selection in shaping human behavior. It suggests that some traits and behaviors have evolved through competition for mates and mate selection preferences. 4. Parental investment. Evolutionary psychology emphasizes the role of parental investment in shaping behavior. It suggests that the different reproductive roles and responsibilities of males and females have led to distinctive behavioral strategies. 5. Domain specificity and modular mind. Evolutionary psychologists propose that the mind is composed of numerous specialized cognitive modules that have evolved to handle specific types of information processing tasks, such as face recognition, language acquisition, and mate choice. Summary. Critics of evolutionary psychology argue that it can be challenging to definitely link specific psychological traits or behaviors to specific evolutionary explanations. They highlight the potential influence of culture and social factors on human behavior and caution against overgeneralizing evolutionary explanations for complex human phenomena. Overall, evolutionary psychology provides a framework for understanding the origins and functions of human behavior by considering the evolutionary pressures that shaped our ancestors' minds. It offers insights into why certain cognitive processes and behaviors tendencies are prevalent in human populations today. References. Thank you. 谢谢。